Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, and I'm here with my co-host Aaron Coe. I'm at Mason Charles Coe on Twitter, at Aaron Coe 29 on Twitter. We got his book right here. Go ahead. You can find the audio ebook on Amazon and the hardcover on Lulu.com. Yeah. So I
So
guess.
you're 20 now. You're
Yeah,
not a
I am
teenager
20.
anymore.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
my birthday was yesterday. No longer a teenager. It's kind of weird.
You're still kind of a dumbass though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, my IQ points didn't go up at all over the last 24 hours, sadly, but hopefully that'll come in the coming years. All right, I guess let's just hop into some football news real quick. We got the NCAA considering a spring football season. So I think they should probably just do that, honestly. I mean,
Hmm.
there's already one or two conferences that are doing it. I just think it's safer,
The
and
Ivy League's not really a football conference though.
they're the smart ones, though. They're the smart ones. People listen to what they
I
say.
don't know nothing about football, man.
Yeah, but I think it's probably just smart. And also it'd be really weird if part of the thing is, though, I guess the whole entire all the Power Five conferences would have to agree to move at once,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know if I could see that happening, but they still make their money, and in fact, they might make more because they're not competing with the NBA and the NFL. So I don't see how this is a bad move. It would be really weird to watch football in spring, obviously, but at this point, it's our only option.
There's nothing
Not only,
nothing
but
not weird right now.
yeah,
But I mean, to me, if you have to, you have to. There are some issues there. First of all, so if you play in the spring and you finish up, I don't know when you finish up, what, May, early June, then you're gonna jump right back into camp.
yeah,
And they usually do camp in middle of July or
mm-hmm.
something like that. So you're gonna play a football season and recover from injuries and all that in a month.
No,
That seems like a problem. Also, I don't think people that are for spring football realize that it ain't going to be a full season. They're not playing. You're not playing 12 games and bowl games, and It's also. I guarantee you, it's going to be a shortened season. Probably conference only. There'll probably be playoffs and a championship, but there's not going to be bowl games, which I guess some people don't like bowl games anyway.
What if there are predictions that we might get a potential vaccine by
Right.
early this year, or early next year, or potentially even end of this year. So if they find the vaccine, then do you think everything's back on? I mean, they want their money, so
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, if they have a vaccine, then then you get fans in the stands in the spring.
yeah,
So that's a bonus. But you're timing wise, you're not going to be able to have a full season, and then you got March Madness. Like you don't want to
true.
screw that up, um, and we can't be sure about the vaccine either, so we
Yeah,
can't bank on that 100%.
that's a good point.
But yeah, right now, I mean, the conferences are already getting out of they're going conference games only. That's where they're at right now. Probably starting, around October 1st ish.
Yep.
I just heard Jen Cohen on the radio the other day, the UW athletic director, and they're optimistic that they can do that, but they don't. Nobody knows anything for sure. The thing about the conference only thing is it's okay, but it's gonna hurt. As much as I hate it when they play Eastern and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt those schools because they're not getting that payday.
True.
You're gonna see more cut. We've talked this broken record. We've talked about this every week, but you're gonna see more sports get cut because of that.
Speaking of, Stanford dropped 11 of them.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. What's interesting about Stanford is they still, after dropping 11 sports, have more sports than most schools. So
Oh,
they
I didn't.
still,
I didn't
yeah,
realize.
they still have 27 sports. UW has 22.
What did they have?
Well,
Like fencing and shit.
yes,
Oh,
they
okay.
cut fencing.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
There you go. They cut squash.
Okay, fuck them. They just go play in your daddy's backyard.
Now, there's a couple sport wrestling, which wrestling it exists at fewer and fewer schools because you need a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And with Title IX, wrestling was really hit hard by Title IX. I'm not. Believe me, I'm not
Yeah, no, we got
saying
you.
Title
We
IX
got
is
you.
bad.
Got
But
you.
the reality is, if you added sports, you had to cut some. And,
Yeah.
and men's wrestling was one that took a pretty hard hit back in the day. Some people say Stanford kind of wanted to cut some of those sports anyway, and now they kind of have their reason to do so.
Just because they made no money.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, some synchronized swimming. I mean,
Okay.
what
yeah.
the fuck is that an Olympic sport? I'm sorry. If you're a synchronized swimmer, I'm sorry. I'm sure you work really
Yeah,
hard.
all the synchronized swimmers that listen to the podcast.
But were you a synchronized swimmer because you couldn't like do actual swimming? Like, is
Yeah,
that
how do
that
you
happens?
become a synchronized swimmer? I feel like it's a lineage. Like you have to know people that synchronized swim to
think
become
so.
a synchronized swimmer.
Or are you just like at a pool one day and like the girl next to you is like doing the same thing as you and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. We should do that more often. Could it
Because
be
it
that?
like takes so much practice and when does that start? Where's the academy for there must be one out there.
And I don't know what squash is. It looks to me like it's like racquetball but for pussies.
Yeah.
That's what, like, it's a softer ball. Like, there's no chance of getting your eye,
Yeah.
gouged out. Like, come on, go hard, guys.
It's the 2010s NBA version of racquetball. Fuck out of here.
Oh my god. So anyway, but hey, in all serious, I mean, I hate to see, I really do hate to see people lose their scholarships.
Yeah, we've
and,
said this before.
Like,
it sucks.
I'm poking fun at it, but that's a bummer. I mean,
Anyone that's played a sport would knows that that's a heartbreak,
yeah,
so.
absolutely. So I feel for him.
And it's not like there's very many squash schools they could really go to.
Yeah,
and
not
I
all
imagine.
that.
Yeah.
Enter the transfer portal and see what happens. Probably not.
Yeah. All right. Big Ten going with their conference only. Pac-12 is also going to do it. Probably
Yeah,
every
it's really
conference.
falling like dominoes now.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be what everybody does. You might see some. I mean, maybe Alabama will still find a way to play a high school like they do every year in there somewhere. But yeah, I think you're going to see basically right now conference only, and then if they figure out they can't do that, they chip away at that for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then if they can't do that, they go to the spring, and that's probably the plan. But yeah, I hate to see the loss of the UW Michigan game, but to be honest,
They're going to replay that, right? Because there's a contract.
Jen Cohen said, well, they could get out of the contract. There's language in there.
Oh,
Actually.
act of God.
Yeah,
clause.
and other
Yeah.
stuff. It's kind of vague, the language of it,
Okay.
but unforeseen circumstances
Right,
or whatever. You could Michigan plays Hawaii in 2022. You could buy them out or say, hey, drop your Michigan game and we'll play you.
All
one of
this
these
money
days.
flying around, none's going to the players.
Yeah.
Imagine.
But then there's a more natural opening in 2023.
Okay.
So my guess is that's
This game
what'll
is good
happen.
for them too. So it makes them money, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
they want to. Yeah, Michigan wants to play it.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, it
it's
looks
just-
really bad if they dick us over.
It's
so.
just a matter of finding the spot. These schedules are made. I don't think people realize. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but a lot of these conference games are booked 7 to 10 years in advance.
I remember this.
have-
I remember this game being announced when I was in high school.
Yeah, they have 2027 games already booked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think early high school when this game was announced.
Yeah.
This
So
Michigan game.
usually, if you want to switch a game, you're dropping somebody, and then you got to buy them out.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to
Wisconsin.
Hawaii.
Wisconsin dropped UW all the year, the 2016, when actually I'm wearing a 2016 shirt right now, when UW was accused of cupcakes. They were supposed to play Wisconsin that year, but Wisconsin
forgot
had
about
bailed on
that.
it.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talked about that. But
Forgot.
anyway, yeah, I hope that they reschedule it.
No doubt.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
if you
they
want to have a
will.
relationship with them, they'll do it. So
And if they don't, gives us all the more reason to say fuck Michigan.
yeah, and I have no problem saying that.
Yeah. All right. This is the segment of the podcast that I like to call Money Talk, where we talk about contracts and shit.
Ooh, fun.
Chris Jones, 85 over 4, 60 guaranteed. Chris Jones, one of the best defensive tackles in the league.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, he did get a deal.
Yeah, he did.
Oh
He just
wow, I
it
didn't
got
even know
announced
that.
today. Yeah, it
Oh
got
wow,
announced
okay, I
today.
missed that.
I'm going to look up the contract situation for the Chiefs, but oh boy, they are paying a lot of guys, and they still have a lot more they need to pay. I don't know, like they really got some decisions to make, as every dominant team has to eventually. Obviously, the Seahawks went through that after their Super Bowl run. Yeah, so
But Mahomey doesn't count. He doesn't really hurt their cap for a couple of years. He's still at a
true,
low cap number for the
true.
next couple of years. I'm surprised they paid Chris Jones though. I thought, well, I was kind of hoping maybe the Seahawks could get him on the cheap or something on a
Yeah,
trade because he was saying he wasn't going to play,
yeah, I
but
was.
they paid him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
And they
so
should. Hey, they're going all in right now, right?
true.
Like win, you got to win a couple now.
Damn.
So
Hold on. Oh, okay, wait. So Patrick Mahomes, I'm looking at their situation for 2022. They're on the hook for Frank Clark for 19 million.
hmm.
Patrick Mahomes' base salary says 1.5, but it says his roster bonus is 27 million. I don't know what that was.
Yeah. So I know that he has. Yeah. So this is how I heard it explained, and I'm not totally, anyway, it's kind of a complicated. His contract is interesting.
Yeah.
So what do they call it? Guarantee mechanisms.
Yeah.
Basically, what my understanding of it is if they decide they want to cut him, they could cut him, but then they would still be on the hook for the next year's salary.
Okay.
So like it's really hard to ever cut him because
Yeah.
you'd have to eat the whole salary anyway.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be like he'd have to be a total disaster
Yeah, yeah.
for them to do that. So that roster bonus, yeah, if he I think it's March 1st, if he gets to March 1st, if they cut him then
So
he gets that.
it looks like Tyreek Hill's deal is structured similarly. He has 1 million base salary for 2022 with 16.5 on a roster bonus. So that's like just like Patty Mahomes. That's like almost all of his contract on the roster bonus. And I don't think this site has updated Chris Jones, whatever he's on the hook for, which I think comes out to like 21 mil or something. It's 60 mil, 15 mil guaranteed. So they're at least on the hook for, assuming Patty Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are still there, 27 mil, 16 mil, 19 mil, and probably 20 mil. So I mean that's a lot of the cap.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the cap on four dudes. And what happens when Travis Kelce needs to get paid? What
Yeah.
happens?
Well, you can't pay everyone. I mean, just
Yeah.
we've seen that with the Seahawks. You got to pick
Yeah.
and choose a little bit because of the cap. You can't even. Doesn't matter how rich your owner is, and we had the richest one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a salary cap that you have to abide by, and the roster bonuses, by the way, those are usually players' agents, I should say, prefer those because if you're going to get cut, you don't want to get cut in August.
No.
When nobody has any cap room. If you're
Yeah.
going to get cut, you want to get cut in March because then there's still, people haven't signed other free agents yet. They haven't signed their draft picks yet. So that's, you want to get cut then. So that's why you see big names usually get released early. You don't see them. They don't, get cut after the third preseason game.
Yeah. So moving on, Myles Garrett, big boy contract. This isn't official yet, but Schefter tweeted that they are on their way to a 5-year, $125 million contract. Do we think he was lying about the Mason Rudolph thing?
Man, these are places that are hard for me to go.
Yeah.
I will say that I will say this. I think he believes he heard something.
Yeah.
Either
By
that
the
or
way
he's insane.
by the way I've seen him talk, he doesn't seem like he'd be someone that would just like accuse him of that just because he was worried he was in trouble. Like he's a strong man, and he's respectful. From what I've seen, he's a very respectful dude. So I don't think he's just throwing that accusation out there. Mason Rudolph just looks like a prick too.
He does, and who wouldn't want to hit that guy?
Exactly.
But there were a lot of other players around, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure if anyone else heard it, they
Yeah.
would have said so.
Yeah.
Probably even his own teammates would have said so, because his teammates don't like that punk ass bitch either.
No.
But I do think I've come around on Myles Garrett a little bit. I think at first I thought, oh, you're just using that, and God, you don't want to use that because
Nah.
it's like
It's just
like
not. It's just not a good thing to bank on.
it's
just
the boy who cried wolf.
just
or
try. Yeah.
You don't want to weaken somebody else's.
Well, it's. I mean,
argument.
Jesse Smollett, like that whole thing. You remember he like walked around with a noose for hours and like that whole. Yeah. So like anyway, we'll move on from that.
But yeah, I believe he thinks. I believe he believes he heard something.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I mean,
he may have been mistaken, but I don't.
All
know.
of his teammates say he's a super chill dude. So like it would have been insane for him to just snap like that without at least thinking. Anyway, Mostert wants more money. Requested a trade. Interesting. So I mean, I've seen tweets saying, why does a young running back want to leave Kyle Shanahan offense when they just went to the Super Bowl and ran for like 1,000 yards untouched against the Packers? He wants money. I did a little research on him just to double check. He like came up with pretty much no money in his life. Had a pretty rough childhood. The man wants his money. Let him go get his money. Finding wealth that will make you comfortable for a lifetime, whether you like it or not, is more important than a Super Bowl. So I don't know why people are really bitching at him.
And I think, when after you've made your money, then go ring chasing.
Chase. Yeah. That's why it's called ring chasing. Like that's why everyone does it at the end of their career. Go get your money.
You don't do that when you haven't gotten paid yet. You
No.
go get paid first, especially when you're a running back. He's got a couple years.
We've talked about this before. Running backs, they almost never overperform on their second contract.
No.
They almost never even meet it. So
they're underpaid in their first contract and overpaid in their second contract.
Yeah. It usually evens out, but I mean that's how it goes. Like he's got to go get his money. Moving on.
Maybe he hates the 49ers like everybody else.
Yeah, true. Fuck him.
I don't blame him.
I'll take him. Actually, no, I don't want another running back. Don't give me another running back.
He's nothing special.
He won. His touchdown last year was the scoring play that won me my fantasy league. So Mostert sadly it was against the Seahawks in that really important game.
Yeah.
Mostert will always hold a special place in my heart for that though. More money talk. Quentin Dunbar bribing witnesses and changing lawyers.
Yeah, that's because the lawyer was part of the bribing. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna,
Bye-bye.
unless they drag it out. Like we're not gonna see that guy. I mean, maybe they'll drag it out, but I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he just found a way to make a bad situation worse.
Yep.
Obviously, he's an idiot. I don't know how you make a mistake like that with so much on the line.
He needs help. Clearly, he needs some help, and I hope he can get that help. And if he improves and becomes a better man, then fuck it, we'll take him back.
Yeah, I wouldn't close the door on him.
Yeah, he's got some learning to do.
Yeah.
More illegal money. Zion's stepdad took $400K.
Wow. Nice.
Came out in court. Just wanted to throw that out there. We already kind of we've talked so much about players taking money, and so we won't have to talk about that anymore. Good for Zion's stepdad, in my opinion.
I don't know. What did he do to get that money? He didn't do shit.
I mean,
he doesn't deserve it.
I mean, okay. I read a sentence. I would guess that probably Zion didn't. I'm guessing Zion took some of the money, but didn't want to appear to be a college athlete with $400,000 in his bank account.
Right.
That's what I assume. I don't know, and it's like if he wants to, support his family, then so be it. But
I mean, can't you wait a year? I mean,
I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good for Zion for getting paid and whatever he wanted to do with it, whatever.
Who paid them?
I didn't read anything. I wanted this to be like
is Coach
very
K.
brief.
Yeah, is Coach K in trouble? That would be the biggest.
Of course
thing.
he's not. He's the biggest name in college basketball as far
Yeah.
as coaches
I
go.
just
As far as anyone goes, he's the biggest
I
name in
don't
college
think
basketball.
he needs to cheat. Like, I don't know.
No one. Yeah.
I want to believe he's pristine. Like, I don't like Duke, but you can't argue the
It would be
success
really
that he's
disappointing.
had.
It would be really disappointing, but
Especially at this age.
I have a feeling
you know?
that any successful basketball team now cheats. Like that's just it's probably not true. I mean, it might be, but that's just kind of I'm like
Yeah.
I have a very sour feeling towards especially NCAA basketball, but probably football too.
Like we've said this on the podcast before, but I believe like either go to the NBA now out of high school or you play or you're out or you go to college for 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't the one and done thing. It's just going to encourage more and more of this.
Yeah, it negatively impacts NCAA basketball culture and everything. Yeah. Okay.
I don't like it as a fan. Like I don't like when we've had guys come through UW.
Yeah, because you can't build your
Like
name.
I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun watching this guy, but I can't. I'm not getting attached to him because I know. I mean, if you go out on a couple dates with a girl, but she's leaving you, like you're not. You're not gonna get too wrapped up in her.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Larry Scott on his way out, please. Fucking please.
Yeah, there are some sources saying that that they're really looking at that. It's tough because they got a lot of other shit to deal with right now.
Yeah, this is a weird time to do it.
But they don't want him. He basically sold the Pac-12 presidents. And make no mistakes, the presidents really run the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the presidents are kind of out of touch with sports.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they're focused on academics, and you can tell that they are sometimes based on some stupid decisions that they make regarding athletics. But yeah, he sold them on the Pac-12 network, which has been a complete disaster in every phase, including that it's virtually unwatchable.
God, yeah. How do you not have good quality? It's 2020, dude.
And their programming, like,
feels like I'm watching a throwback game.
Yeah, and just the programming choices that they make, like they don't focus on signing day. Like hey, put your Olympic sports on there. I don't have a problem with that, but have more content that people actually want to watch.
Yeah.
So basically, you get the shittiest college football games, and then Olympic sports that only the gymnast mom is watching. Like, stop.
And the stuff they put on, like the side feature things where they interview teams and like those are boring as hell.
Yeah,
those are
well done.
so ass.
They
They're
don't
so
have good
boring.
staff. Like anytime they get somebody good, like I'm not a big Neuheisel fan.
Yeah,
but he's really good at his current job.
I like it. Yeah, I like him there.
And he was with Pac-12 Network, but then he got paid and went somewhere else.
Fair
Kind of
enough.
like he did as a coach all the time, or as a gambler. And they've had a couple other guys that have, like, they're there for a year, and their other networks are like, "Ooh, that guy's good," and they're paying him nothing. Anyway, It sucks. So I don't think they want him negotiating their next deal. I think they realize they can pay somebody a lot less to do a better job. He makes like 5 times as much as some of the other commissioners of better conferences.
And all the Pac-12 has been doing recently is losing notoriety and
Yeah, he's
right.
a joke. Move on.
Yeah. All right. We got Jamal Crawford going to the Nets. Jay crossover. Thank God a team signed him. All it took was half of the Nets roster to be not going to Orlando.
Yeah.
But he deserves to be on a team. He's going to average, mark my words, he will average more than 20 points a game in the playoffs. And I don't even think that's that bold of a claim because I think he already averages like 17, 18. So, yeah.
I root for the guy. I saw him play in high school. He was a man among boys. He would make passes that bounced off his teammates' face because they didn't even expect it.
Yeah.
And he would pass it right to him.
Fun
player to watch.
He said, "I didn't turn 40. I turned 20 twice," which is true. He's timeless, man. He's just as good now. Not quite as athletic, obviously, but pretty much just as good now as he has always been.
I was bitter when he left the state to go to college. He went to Michigan for a year.
Right.
But he has really embraced Seattle basketball.
Yeah.
Other than that one decision,
Yeah.
so I respect him. Wish him well. I was, would have been fun to see him go to the Lakers or somewhere like that. And it seems like they had maybe a hole that he could have filled.
Rondo we didn't put this down. Rondo out 6 to 8 weeks with a hand fracture.
Wow.
Lakers fans are rejoicing currently. I like Rondo, so like it's kind of sad, but he's been asked this year, so I mean it's whatever. I mean maybe they just want a little bit more defense. At that
defense. We're talking about the NBA, right?
I don't
Defense.
know. At that backup guard though, I don't know if they want someone with a little bit more clamps. Because I don't know. I mean. They could have used another scorer, man.
Yeah,
they could have used.
I thought he would have been a really good fit.
They could have used. They could have used just one extra guy that puts their bench far over the edge of a Clippers or a Bucks bench.
Because they were already down. Is it Avery Bradley?
Yeah, Avery Bradley and now Rondo.
Yeah, so they're down two. I don't know. I thought that would have been a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Plus, you got just a veteran guy.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah. Jerry DePoto is moving slowly with young players. Good, I guess.
Yeah, it was I heard him, and
I feel like we should just treat this as like a spring training season.
I was hoping. I don't know. I was hoping to see some of these guys
because there's no minor league
like
season.
What do you
get them some ABs?
What do you lose by having a guy come up and struggle for half?
Tell them there's no stakes. Tell them there is literally no stakes.
Yeah.
Put it in their head that this season does not mean jack shit. It is spring training.
Yeah.
So just go out there and play ball.
So I'm kind of bummed because that's like, what else do we have to fucking look forward to?
Yeah, now I'm not gonna watch a single damn game. Yeah. There's no point.
I'm sure a couple of the guys.
I'll watch for Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis. Oh my God. So
he's been on fire, huh?
Yeah, he's like. At one point, this was a few days ago. I'm sure they've scrimmaged since then, but he had 5 plate appearances in the scrimmages, and he got walked twice, and he hit a dinger to left, a dinger to center, and a dinger to right.
I love it.
And one of those was off of our number 1 starter, Marco Gonzalez. So
it's funny seeing dudes report on these scrimmages because it's like, damn. Kyle Lewis is on fire right now, and then, but it's off your pitcher too. So it's like they can't both be good.
Maybe our pitcher just sucks.
Yeah. All right.
But that'd be great if he developed into a great player.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
For sure.
He's got all the tools.
I was really excited about him when they drafted him, and we got. Let's move into our clown of the week because we got a couple things that kind of tie in here. Who's yours?
Who was mine?
All right. Well,
I'm getting old.
Okay.
Hold on. It was. It's Deshaun Jackson.
Yes.
He's good for a clown of the week. Every few years.
Yeah.
He's maybe the only guy in the history of football that has thrown the ball up in the air before he crossed the goal line twice.
Twice.
You'd think if you did that once, you would make I'd carry that goddamn thing to the locker room, to the sideline at least.
He's Bo Jackson. Yeah.
But I mean. Anti-Semitic comments.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Any generalization or racist comment that you make, I mean, even if there for some reason is some truth to it, my God, don't say anything during this time.
PR 101, baby.
Jesus.
Just don't do it.
And then you're gonna shit on the one group who is maybe just as famous for your group as being shit on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Hitler. Like, it was Russia, too.
Yeah.
Like, probably 25 million Jews got killed in Russia. They've had some struggles, okay?
Here's the thing.
Let's just not... Why do we have to shit on anyone?
We're going to briefly move out of Clown of the Week and move into Redemption Story of the Week.
Okay.
Deshaun Jackson. He's now visiting.
His agent got into his head.
Okay, no, because this doesn't happen.
How can we fix
Stop.
this?
Hold on. Stop. This doesn't happen. No, seriously, this doesn't. People don't just do no one agrees to visit Auschwitz because their PR team told them to. He's flying to fucking Germany, and he's also visiting the Holocaust Museum. He's meeting with
so he's going on vacation.
Rabbis. Okay, stop.
I'd like to go there too.
Stop.
I'd love to see that.
Let's give this guy a shot to learn. I think he's actually trying to, because when someone says something racist, you don't like they don't automatically go visit museums and talk to black leaders and like you know what I mean.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think we got to give him a chance. Who I think should replace him for Clown of the Week, and this makes me very very sad, is Steven Jackson. We've talked about.
He's always been a little bit of a clown too.
Okay, so yeah,
I know you love him as a
Yeah.
podcaster. I know.
Okay, yeah. So here, I'll just kind of give my full take on Steven Jackson. I've talked about the All the Smoke podcast before on this show multiple times. I still I love their show. What is going on? All right, I love their show.
I like it too, and I'm not a huge NBA guy, and
Yeah.
I thought he was a clown kind of before, but they do a good job with the podcast. So
They do.
I'll back you up on that.
Yeah. And he's not like the thing I like about Steven Jackson is he knows he does stupid shit for the most part, and we'll get into why it's for the most part. He talks about the malice at the palace, and he knows he messed up, and he will own up to his mistakes for the most part, and he's I guess he's very admittedly like he'll tell you that like I will make mistakes, and from his background, like he comes from the streets. He was in a shootout like while he was in the NBA, I'm pretty sure. Like that's just where he comes from, and he kept running with the wrong people for a long time. But I don't think he's necessarily like a bad person. Now he backed up Deshaun Jackson kinda. And I think what he was saying was he was only defending how they talked about Deshaun Jackson versus how they talked about was it Riley Cooper?
Yeah.
That said I think said the N-word. And I mean fair enough, whatever. It's just weird. I don't know, weird to bring that up, but and then he was on Instagram Live with I believe a Jewish person, and he brought up like the Rothschilds owning all the banks, which is like an anti-Semitic trope, and it seems that he cannot get it through his head that what he's saying is anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Just like people say racist things that aren't aren't hateful per se.
Oh, he's just set in his ways.
Yeah, and it's like it's really disappointing because he's
learn
been
from it, bro.
He's been such a strong leader for Black Lives Matter, and like he was actually best friends with George Floyd, and he spoke at rallies, and he spoke in front of I think maybe Congress people, I'm not sure. So he's just this powerful voice for equality, and it's like how can anyone listen to you anymore talk about equality when you it's not equality because it's not all people. And as a white boy, you don't have to listen to me about that topic. But Michael Wilbon said the exact same thing. And many other
is quite black.
Yes, and there many other people that have a much a much better perspective than me on this issue have also expressed that sentiment.
Yeah, I just don't think you need to.
It's like, why?
Hey, I'm all for shitting on individuals.
Yeah, shit on some individuals.
There are a lot of assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, there are assholes of every color and religion and group. Like there are a few in every group. But why do we ever have to shit on one entire group of people? I don't get it.
It's like if you think there's something wrong with the whole group of people, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like because there's just statistically, there cannot be a group of hundreds of millions of people. Like they can't all be bad. Like it's just impossible.
No,
it's just not. It can't happen. So that means there's something wrong with you, and
so it's just
that also means you need to get some help. And to be completely honest, I think Matt Barnes, I believe I can say his best friend and his co-host, former teammate. I genuinely think he's the only one that can talk some sense into him. He's just like Steven Jackson. He is always keeping it real, and Matt Barnes has done some really dumb things too. Like I didn't know about this. He choke slammed Derek Fisher through a glass door because Derek Fisher slept with his ex-wife or something.
Oh,
there's a documentary dropping about it.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, but yeah, Matt Barnes, he's also a really good dude. Voice for equality. At least I think. I don't know. He hasn't come out and said anything about this, so it's tough to it's tough.
There are so many
really
layers to racist or prejudice. There obviously there's hateful people, right?
Yeah.
Fuck all you.
And that
whoever's-
was his thing. Was like, you can never see me saying anything hateful. It's like that's what closet racists say too.
So there's hateful people, and then there's ignorant. So a lot of the All Lives Matter crew, a lot of them, I'm not going to generalize them either.
Yeah.
But a lot of them aren't hateful. They're just fucking tone deaf, and
You just don't get it.
they don't get it.
You just don't get
They're
it.
ignorant about it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them are okay people that just are like kind of digging in, And I hope Steven Jackson is kind of along those lines where he just needs to learn, and I hope he's open to that.
I truthfully believe he is not a hateful person, and he pulled out the like, oh, all my Jewish friends know. It's like that's another thing. Like, I have black friends. I have black friends. I know a black guy. Like that. It's the same thing. It's
it is.
literally.
We talked about that before.
It's copy paste. Just flip around the races and the ethnicities. But yeah. Also, that wasn't actually my original clown of the week. My real clown of the week. Actually, I have two more of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
It's
a heavy
fucking circus right now.
Yeah, serious. Yeah. Bring out the elephants. So. We got Rashawn Holmes among, I think, other NBA players. You have food delivered to your room every day, 3 times a day. Why the fuck are you ordering Uber Eats, leaving the bubble, and then coming back in? He ordered food, and now he has to quarantine for another 8 days.
Hey, man, he had the munchies. He really had to have whatever that was from DoorDash.
Jesus Christ,
sometimes
man.
You just gotta have it, man.
Good thing he plays for the
saying?
Kings. They don't have a fucking shot at a championship, so who really cares? But
that's the most king thing ever right there.
Yeah. Seriously. Actually,
what a clown.
Yeah. We also it's interesting seeing different players different reactions to the bubble. You got I think Ja Morant came out and said, like, I'm not a complainer, like I've never had a silver spoon, so I'm fine. Miles Turner said, I don't know why people are saying anything's wrong, like food's fine. It's not ideal, but we're here to win a championship.
Yep.
And then you got guys like Rondo like posting pictures and like complaining. And it's like, I get you're used to a lifestyle, but I guess like you can suck it up a little. And like, yeah.
There are people everywhere that will bitch about. I remember when I was in the UW marching band, one day before a game, they gave us hot dogs and milk, which
oh my God.
Probably not the best combination ever. But I made some comment. I was a freshman. I was a dumbass freshman.
Yeah,
you know what that's like.
Yeah.
I was a dumbass freshman, and I'm like, hot dogs and milk, like that's kind of gross. And then one of the juniors or something said, don't ever complain about free food when you're in college.
Yeah,
dumb shit.
Big facts.
But I've learned from that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Either eat it or don't eat it, but shut up. And that's what these NBA players need to do. Just suck it up. It ain't ideal. Nothing's ideal right now, motherfucker. Just, come on, just do your best with it. Either if you don't like it, get out. There's somebody else that wants to take your place.
I get you're used to a certain lifestyle, but also I'm used to a lifestyle where I can go hang out with all my friends, and so it's like, and for the most part, like their lives haven't been, I want to say, too impacted.
Yeah, people are losing their houses and losing their jobs.
Like, yeah,
or family members.
The thing that Miles Turner said that I really like, damn, my farmer's tan is like really bad. I'm just noticing this on the camera. Damn. Okay. The thing that Miles Turner said in his tweet that stuck with me that I didn't even think about was like, he's like, I appreciate all the hard work that was put into this. Yeah. And it's like, dude, that's even more so than like bitching about the situation. It's like, it pisses me off even more that the players aren't thanking anyone about, because like there are people doing very hard work and like preparing meals and trying to clean rooms and stay socially it's like a whole thing where there are thousands of people, probably at least hundreds, working on this. It's like at the very least be like, thanks for trying hard. Okay. My other clown of the week ties into Saturday's event, UFC 251. Oh my God, how did I not look up this guy's name? Okay, let's talk about UFC 251. So, title fight, or sorry, main event was kind of boring.
Yeah.
About what I expected, realistically. We made predictions before the fight, but if I were to take a real bet on it, I probably would have said Usman in a decision.
Yeah, I said Masvidal in a controversial decision. I think that's what I wanted to happen, but I think we all knew that Usman was probably going to come through with being more fight ready and being a little bit younger as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was kind of.
The foot stomps, baby.
Oh my God, he just kept stepping on his feet. I'm like, that's kind of a bitch ass move, isn't it?
Yeah, people are flaming him on Twitter for that.
Yeah, and we're not talking like once or twice. How many?
The
He must
whole
have done
fight.
it 50 times.
Because they were clinched up with their arms for like a majority of the fight.
Yeah.
And by the way, Masvidal, I think I got it wrong. I said Usman was primarily a striker. He's primarily a wrestler. And Masvidal showed a really good job of not getting just shit on the ground, which is what Usman will do to people. He held his own, and he's not a wrestler.
It looked like the whole fight was basically Usman trying to get him down on the ground but couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And Masvidal trying to break free so he could punch something and couldn't break free.
Yeah, they were just stuck in purgatory.
Yeah, it was like they just fucking stood there. Like
held hands.
I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen some more punches thrown.
There were not very many punches landed, I feel like.
No.
Also, my second clown of the week, or third, I guess, technically, is referee Leon Roberts. Jesus Christ, dude. There are not almost never any fights that I want to look away from the screen. I almost actually looked away from the screen. Jose Aldo was just getting his skull pounded in for 3 minutes straight, and like just as Leon Roberts was about to end it, he would kind of squirm a little and keep it alive or whatever. Dude was gonna die. Like
when a guy is sitting there with his hand face down, with his hands over his head, just trying to protect his fucking skull from being bashed in, it's time to stop the fight.
There was no.
My God,
he was squirming, but that was trying to just stop getting his head beaten. There was no attempt to get up and keep fighting at that point. It was just an attempt to stay awake.
He was trying to stay alive.
Yeah,
that's all he was doing, and that's not good enough.
No, so I think Leon Roberts. I don't know if there's any sort of process if they mess something up like that, but. He's got to, I don't know, like, something's got to happen with him. I mean, like, he if anything, he needs a stern talking to from Dana White, because that was ugly. That was bad. And like, there's just a pool of blood in the ring for the next fight. Like, you just keep seeing it as they're walking around the ring. Like, Jesus Christ, that's where Jose Aldo got destroyed. Yeah. Fight should have, like, they could have stopped the fight a minute and a half before they did, and it still was 30 seconds too long, probably.
Yeah. I've never yelled. I'm talking about. I've watched a lot of boxing back in the day. I saw a lot of great heavyweight fights back in the day. I haven't watched as much UFC, but I don't remember ever in my life for 2 minutes being, dude, stop the fight.
Yeah.
Stop the fight. This guy's gonna, like, I don't remember ever thinking that. And I did see a guy die. I saw Boom Boom Mancini kill a guy.
Oh shit!
And even that seemed less egregious than what happened in this fight.
Yeah, it was more accidental.
Yeah. Anyway, it was awful. You know what though? You lose fans that way too.
Yeah, it becomes a lot harder to watch for people.
Yeah, especially if the guy had died. If the guy had died, there would be
he could
people
still
who are
have
like,
serious brain injuries from that. I mean,
if something serious happened, there would be people who are like, I'm never watching this sport again. And you don't want to do that at a time when you got a real chance to win fans here.
Yeah.
Look at me. I mean, I've never watched it before, but I got nothing else to watch, so I'm watching it and I kind of enjoy it.
If you're if you're making me uncomfortable, and like I wanted to turn away, but in the moment, like there was, after a minute or two, I was like, okay, this just needs to stop. There was like 30 seconds there where I wanted to turn away, but I couldn't tell if I was being a pussy. So I kept watching. But no, like if you're getting me to want to stop looking, then there's an issue, because I I have a pretty strong gullet for that kind of stuff for the most part. When it comes to fighting, especially. So
I was watching it like when you see a man getting getting yelled at by his woman,
Yeah.
like on the street or in
Yeah,
the
just
store.
helpless.
I was kind of like, I was watching that fight like that, like, oh man, oh. But I couldn't quite. I'm not turning away, but I don't want I don't want to be too obvious that I'm watching this. Yeah.
All right. Let's move into our NBA jerseys to end off the episode here. Let me get...
Oh wait, we got to talk about before we go there. I want to talk about the the Washington D.C. football team a little bit.
Okay.
So they did today, I believe today, said that they are for sure changing the name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Which that wasn't official before. It was kind of rumored.
Okay.
But we don't know what their name is going to be. And then I just wanted to mention that one of the names being thrown out there is Washington Warriors.
There's already a Warriors that's iconic.
And Washington Warriors is like when you ask your 6-year-old team what they want to be, and they say like Blue Dolphins. Yeah. Washington Warriors is a stupid ass name.
It's a really dumb name.
It's less racist than Redskins, obviously, but you need to move away from that whole area.
Just
fresh
Red
clean
Tails.
slate.
Red Tails is just sitting on a platter for you, man.
Yeah.
You can do, not only make it right, but be above the standard of it's like a good team name.
Yeah,
like
so
it means something.
And it's interesting. And one other thing, one thing I've learned from, we're still waiting for our hockey team here in Seattle to announce a name. And what I've heard from that is you have to really run your new team name through a lot of things, and there's a lot of copyright issues.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do they just completely rebrand everything?
It's really complicated because no matter what you name your team, there's another team by that name somewhere, whether it's a select softball team.
True, yeah. I didn't think about that.
People have trademarks for everything now.
I wonder what the trademark is on Red Tails, actually. That might be tough to get.
I don't even know. But like like our hockey team, I think, they're looking at Steelheads, but there's another team called the Steelheads. Yeah. So it's like you have to buy somebody out and you have to jump through all these hoops. So the Redskins, go ahead.
Sorry, isn't there a Kraken liquor?
I think so, yeah. So that could be an issue, or maybe a sponsor. I don't know.
True, yeah. Honestly, yeah. It's a smart move.
But so the interesting thing with either they're gonna have to pick a name that's pretty simple that nobody else has, and Warriors ain't that, or I don't see how they're gonna come up and get all this rebranded, get all the patents, trademarks,
everything,
all that shit handled, and hey man, it's July 14th. All right, you're supposed to have a game in a month and a half. How are you going to get all that done?
I bet what they do, those throwback jerseys they have, where I don't think maybe there's a logo on the side. I don't think there's a logo on the side of their throwbacks. I bet they just take the logo off, don't have the little tiny Redskins up here, and just run with the red and gold.
They'll just be DC.
They'll just be the DC football team.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
They should be like the Republicans or the Democrats and just choose a side and just see what happens.
Yeah, really double down. Just pick or you could actually
DC Democrats.
I was just about to say the dumbest thing ever. I was about to say or you could be the Cowboys, like Cowboys versus Indians, but obviously there is a Cowboys.
Yeah, that might be a
little. It might be an issue. Yeah. And they're in the same division too. It's like no. Okay.
We don't have a star though. We have a diamond on the side of our helmet. It's okay.
All right.
So anyway, fuck Dan Snyder.
Fuck Dan Snyder.
Fuck the Washington D.C. football team.
He only is changing the name because his pockets are getting hurt.
So we're moving on to the NBA.
NBA jerseys.
Fuck Howard Schultz real quick, and then go ahead. Take
do you want me to go first or you?
Yeah.
All right.
You have to remind. I might have to look and see who because I don't remember. I don't.
Oh shoot! I totally just talk for a second. Hey y'all, sorry for the quick cut here, but when I went to go turn on the TV so my dad could see the display, the audio actually cut out. So we will include our top 5 NBA jerseys of all time on next week's episode. Sorry about that, try to avoid that going forward, obviously. But yeah, with all this new technology, I'm still really getting used to it. I don't know what half of it does, and yeah, there's a lot of different settings and things that can get really really messed up very easily. So yeah, thank you for being understanding. If anyone even made it this far, yeah, peace out.